Good afternoon again, Nick Lehman, TechCell. Just wanted to walk quickly through one of our main function areas, T-Link. So you've got several here across the screen, but this is the one we're going to live in. And just beneath that's the manual. So if you really want to dig into the stuff, the manual is the one to go. But for now, we're going to click on that. You'll notice that I'm here shortly that I'm disconnected from a monitor. So what I will do is we'll go into custom settings and I'll show you a couple of things. You'll notice it's saying it's kind of telling me that nothing's connected, and it's right. So in the event you're sort of having challenges connecting up with the system, you'll get things like this. But we're gonna bypass that and go into save settings. So what I'm gonna do is this is something I've created earlier with Rebecca, so you can see where I've saved that, and we can go in and edit that if we wish to, or we can create a new. So what we'll do is we'll go into Rebecca's settings that we created some time ago, and I'll edit those. So you'll notice here that we've got some ranges and some sensitivities on our sensors. That's our first little tabby. The other one is continuous logging, which is sort of basically, this is basically how our monitor is recording. So this instrument is set to record every 5 minutes, and it is recording at 1,000 points a second. So it's going to take the largest number every 5 minutes and register it. If we wanted to disable that, we would do that there. If we wanted to re-enable that, we would do that there. If we wanted to change that number, say if we weren't happy with that and we wanted to go 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30, let's say 5 minutes instead of 15, watch what happens. Click there and we'll have a change down here. So we'll have a change in terms of how long that data will live, I guess 18 days. So if I go and play with that again and say, let's do 10 minutes, and it gives me 37 days of continuous logging, waveforms and events. So we can sort of manipulate how long we can leave that out in the field without touching it. And that gives us an indication. So all the sort of red things are things we're changing or have changed. So I'll put that back to 15 minutes. We'll leave it at that. We'll come down to the next section, which is, I guess we can see the results section. So it gives us an idea. We can select these results in terms of how we report this. So we've got compliance, average results, RMS results, and enable text streaming, which is an option for those folks that are wanting to stream data out of our serial port or USB port. And there's particular folks that prefer to receive the data that way. So we can do a range of things, I guess. And so into the next section, if we get into triggered events, in this case, we've enabled it. And what we've done is we've enabled it on 3 channels, and we've set it at a particular threshold. So in this case, it's 5.60 millimeters a second. So we can go into this section and we can alter that. We put that across the triax. There's several things we can do there. We can also open up the triaxial components. So in some cases, we're happy for that to be over those triaxial components and all be consistent. In other cases, we may not wish to, but we can certainly adjust those if we see fit, and we can close those back up just with that clicking back on the show triaxial button. Again, you'll notice our levels here and our levels here, and we can just adjust those as we see fit. So there's some sort of default ones that are set in there, and we can, of course, just go and edit those however we wish to. So we'll cancel out of that. We're not going to do anything with that one. We're going to leave it as it is. We're going to look at the waveform data, which is a high-intensity waveform. So it's important to note that we've got this thing set to last 4.096 seconds, and it's going to be recording 1,000 points per second. And it has a 10% pre-trigger. So what that means is 10% of that total recording is going to be prior to the triggered event. So that's useful in the sense that we can see onset of that particular wave trace. So that's pretty cool. And in addition to that, we've got the mic extended to 20 seconds. So in some cases, that's a bit of a delayed activity. So we drag that out. So in the event of blasting activities on and happening, we can capture that air overpressure should it be a bit delayed in getting to us. We can pull that apart and we can see where we got 1,000 samples a second, so we can actually, if we wanted to, we can jam that up a bit, so we We can adjust that. In this case, up to 8 if we wish to, but we'll leave that at 1,000. And we can also have a sample period adjustment. So we can do that higher or lower depending on, it gives you the amount of points that we'd be sampling at. So we'll plug back in there. Unlike samples, we've got that and it gives you the points that we're going to be pulling as a consequence of that. And then we got the pre-trigger. So 0.41 seconds, 410 points. So that gives you an indication of what we have there. This gives us the ability to overwrite waveforms when the memory is full. So that's sort of important to know that we can do that. A lot of cases you notice that's not ticked, but we certainly can do that. So that's an important thing to know. So we'll pull out of that. We'll go back into sort of compliance results, and we can sort of see that's fundamentally what we dealt with up here. Just another portion of that within the triggered events section. Again, our data. So our data gives us an indication of waveforms and events per day, and you can sort of do some things there to adjust that if you wish to. But it's primarily sort of advising us as to how long we can go and do what we're trying to do. We can also set timetables if we wish. So we can tickle on a duty timetable, and we can go into that timetable and adjust those things. So in the event we want to set that on a cycle, so let's say 6 to 6 or something of that order, we can certainly go and do that. That permits us to sort of have that instrument live in the wild a bit longer than maybe it would otherwise. We'll untick that and just let it run. It'll go 24/7 on that basis. So hopefully that provides you a little bit of insight into into this section that we would call custom settings. Sing out with any questions. We want to provide you with an overview of that. Any questions, just give us a shout. Take care. Bye for now.